Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today I will be analyzing a pair of recently revealed LEGO exclusive minifigure sets. These sets will both contain 4 minifigures, 1 exclusive, and they will release on June 1st, 2020, where they will retail for about $15 US or €13. On the left, we have set number 40419, the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Students set. It will include minifigures of Gryffindor, Harry Potter, Slytherin, Draco Malfoy, Hufflepuff, Hannah Abbott, and Ravenclaw, Cho Chang, and will include 53 pieces overall. On the right, we have set number 40418, the LEGO Avengers Falcon and Black Widow minifigure pack, which includes Falcon, Black Widow, and a pair of AIM agents, and this set will include a total of 60 pieces. Starting with a set which I think is a bit less interesting, that being the Avengers set. Firstly, I think it's a bit funny how this is the first set from the Avengers 2020 lineup that I'm discussing on my channel. I do plan to, relatively soon, make a video discussing the main line of sets that are coming this summer, but for right now, let's talk about this set. So we'll include 4 minifigures as well as a small build, and starting off with the figures, we have the exclusive figure to this set, the Falcon, who is interesting. Okay, so starting off, his hairpiece is the same one we've been getting since Finn from Star Wars in 2015. It's been used on the Falcon a couple of times, and I think it works very well. Below that, we have his face, which, this being Comic Falcon, he does not have any facial hair, which is interesting to see, since of course the last couple figures we've had of Falcon have been based on the MCU, where he does. So if you want a figure of Falcon with the more modern goggles, but without facial hair, this is your go-to guy. Also, I should note that the mouth print here is actually exactly the same as an existing face print that they introduced for Cyborg from DC, and they've also used it on Nick Fury last year from Captain Marvel. And as such, this figure does have an alternate face that has him with a more aggressive expression. The torso print, I feel, is quite nice, even if the white is a bit washed out, but it works well. And at the bottom, he has a pair of double-molded legs with red on the top and white on the bottom, a color scheme which is not exclusive, but it is unique without any printing. So yeah, the figure's great. His wings, on the other hand, whew, boy. Now, I get the idea behind wanting to have them brick-built, since with this figure being based on the upcoming Avengers video game, or at least being designed to fit in with that game's aesthetic, I definitely imagine they wanted to go for the more mechanical feel of the MCU wings, rather than the more red feathers of the comic version. However, there is one very important thing to point out about these wings. They look terrible. I mean, why didn't they just use a similar build to what we had with the Hulkbuster set from Infinity War? That wing design was phenomenal. Or if you want to have mechanical wings but don't want to put a lot of effort into a build, why not bring back the piece they made in 2016 for Falcon and Captain America Civil War? That piece appeared in one set and never appeared again. I think that with some good printing, that could have really worked well. Or at least better than this, because these wings are absolutely pitiful, and I don't want to look at them any longer. The next figure is Black Widow, who is not unique, as she does come in a couple of other sets, specifically the Avengers Tower and the Helicarrier, but she's still a very good figure. Her hairpiece is a relatively standard female piece, which, funnily enough, is actually the hairpiece she debuted with in minifigure form back in 2012 for the first Avengers movie. Her face is Jyn Erso's, which she has used since 2018, and I'm glad because it looks really good for Scarlett Johansson, even though I suppose that this version of the figure isn't based on Scarlett Johansson's portrayal, since this is based on the video game. Black Widow has a very good torso print, some nice leg print, And, arm printing. Yeah, arm printing on a Marvel figure. That's not a thing that happens ever, so that's pretty awesome. It looks great. You even have multiple colors in there with the gold around the little tasers, I believe they would be. She also has her sticks, and it's a bit funny how they're just poles, when in the last couple times we've gotten Black Widow, including in both sets coming out this summer with this very same figure, they use a brick-built design involving the Harry Potter wands. So this is a fair bit of a downgrade, but oh well. Other two figures are AIM agents, and unlike Black Widow, who is reasonably uncommon, and this is by far the best way to get her, or at least the cheapest, by about $75, these guys are very common. They come in so many sets. You get one of them in the Avengers bike set from January, you get two of them in the Avengers truck set from January, you get some in the Helicarrier, you get some in the Avengers Tower, you get two in the Hulkbuster, and you get two here. So if you've been collecting the Avengers sets, you have a ludicrous amount of these guys, but at least they look alright. I mean, I think the color scheme's a little bit ugly, but I feel as though, like, the gunmetal helmet is good, the gunmetal respirator is great, and, like, the printing is good. I just think that the bright flame yellow is just a bit, it's very garish to me, but other than that, these guys are fine, even if they remind me of the CDA from Monsters Incorporated. Anyway, the build, aside from Falcon's wings, is this Gatling stud shooter, and, I mean, this is better than Falcon's wings. I mean, this is the definitive definition of bland, but it's something. Okay, moving on to the set I actually care about, Hogwarts Students, a set which is not a Brickheads pack. Now, to my knowledge, we will still be getting a Harry Potter Brickheads set this year, that being Hagrid and Buckbeak, but the other set, which was a Hogwarts Student set, turned out to just be a minifigure pack. Same with the Falcon and Black Widow set, which was also rumored to be Brickheads, due to the very close set numbering to the Brickhead sets we're getting this year, such as Hagrid and Buckbeak. Anyway, this set includes 4 figures, as prior mentioned, as well as a small bookcase side build, and some very nice accessories we'll get to later. But, starting with the figures, we have Harry and Draco. And, yeah, I'll just start with the big thing. This set does something that so many Harry Potter fans, myself included, have wanted for so long. We get a small set, a battle pack essentially, containing all 4 Hogwarts jumpers. Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. All in one set. Meaning that after so long, we can finally just army build students, or maybe army build's not the right word, but we can create a full Hogwarts student body. In prior incarnations of the line to 2018, you could only do that with Gryffindor and Slytherin, and in 2018, while the Gryffindor torso comes in a whole bunch of sets, and Ravenclaw came in a CMF, so if you were lucky enough, you could get a good amount of that, both Slytherin and Hufflepuff were exclusive to the Hogwarts Great Hall, a $100 set where you got one of each. This set, though, in addition to getting Harry's Gryffindor torso, which again, very common, Draco has the Slytherin design from the Great Hall in a $15 set. So you could get, like, a bunch of this set if you were so inclined and just get so many students for all the houses, which is phenomenal. And while I don't army build, and I really never get duplicates of sets, I am tempted to get us at a few copies of this. Like, I'm definitely getting one, but I'm tempted to get 2 or 3. But anyway, aside from the torsos, which look great, specifically Draco's I think works a bit better. I don't know, I think I just like the color scheme more. Anyway, these figures both have the same hair pieces and face prints as they have in the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower. Harry, I think, is very accurate, and this hairpiece works better with this face print than both hairpieces he had last year. Draco gets a face print that is not new, but I think works quite well. In fact, I think I might like it more with this torso than I do with the robe design he has in the astronomy tower. I have no idea why. I just feel as though maybe the color scheme with this guy is more appealing, or something like that. I don't know. I just think this guy looks better than the astronomy tower figure. Which is funny, since that one has an exclusive torso print and this guy doesn't. But also, for people who live in the US like me, since this set comes out a full month before the astronomy tower over here, this will be the first set in the US to include the Half-Blood Prince era Draco, as well as that hairpiece. So that's pretty cool. On the back, they both have alternate faces and back printing, neither of which are very remarkable, but they're there. Now, the other two figures, though, I feel are much more interesting. Outside of the jumpers, which, again, I feel as though, with the exception of Gryffindor, all of those are great. But here we have Hannah Abbott from Hufflepuff, and Cho Chang from Ravenclaw. And we'll start with the positives first. Hannah Abbott is a very good figure. Again, that Torsoid prior only appeared in a $100 set, so it's great to get here. And then her hairpiece and face, while not new, in fact that face has previously appeared even in LEGO Harry Potter on Fleur Delacour in 2 of the 3 sets she came in last year. I think it works very well for Hannah Abbott, judging by the 1 Google Images result I found of her. Yeah, I like this figure. The hairpiece also is one that is returning to Harry Potter after a long hiatus since it appeared in 2010 on Luna Lovegood. Fun fact. On the right, we have Cho Chang, and she is the exclusive figure in the set. And normally, exclusive figures are something that get you excited. A big draw. Here, though, she's easily the worst figure of the set, because, her face print is new, as we'll get to in a minute, because she has an alternate face now, and her torso is new, because the wrinkle detail is slightly different for no good reason. So, the torso is fine, but the face. If they're going to do a new face print, why aren't they making it accurate? Why does she still have this darker skin tone? Have they seen Cho Chang? Have they seen the actress that played Cho Chang? That skin tone is not accurate at all. They should just use the standard light nougat color they use for all the other figures in this set, because that's the closest skin tone. And it just doesn't make sense. The only thing I can think of is that maybe they're trying to keep continuity with Dr. Henry Wu from Jurassic Park? Which, first off, is kind of funky, but I guess they're both Asian characters, and that's all I can think of that's the only reason I can think of why they could do this, because he also has this skin tone, except for his actor, it's actually accurate. But then that doesn't make sense, because for Rose from Star Wars, they just have her with the normal light nougat tone, which is what's accurate for her and Cho. So why didn't they just use that color here? Again, if you're going to make a new face print, why wouldn't you make it accurate? It's just mind-boggling to me. Oh, and her hairpiece is a nice one to get. Not too common in black, and also kind of funny, because in the minifigure series, that Cho figure was based on Goblet of Fire, but her hairstyle was more accurate to her appearance in Order of the Phoenix. Here, this Cho figure is based on Order of the Phoenix, but her hairstyle is much closer to how it looked in Goblet of Fire. That's just kind of funny. Anyway, turning this around to the back, they both have back printing again. Hannah Abbott has a scared face that works fine, although I feel as though it is very specific to actress Laura Dern, who this face was designed for, so I'll probably keep her with just the front expression. Cho has a sad face. Yippee skippy. Moving on. A much cooler exclusive piece than Cho's parts, though, is this Marauder's map, which is the first time we're getting it in the new line, and its first new design since it was originally created all the way back in 2004 for the original release of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And this map looks great. You have the printing for the castle on the cover, which is folded open. And inside, you have all the different Hogwarts geometry, and you have the footprints. And while some have complained that those should have been minifigure footprints, I kind of prefer this, since if they were minifigure footprints, you just would have had a bunch of squares. This is much more obvious what it's supposed to be. My problem with this, though, is the fact that it has Draco's name on it, which makes this very situational to the events of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Which in itself is kind of odd, since this set is based on Order of the Phoenix, with the minifigure selection being based on 3 DA members. Specifically, I think Cho is kind of the sealer of the deal there, since I feel as though her expression, as well as her general inclusion, makes the most sense for Order of the Phoenix, and she did not have a role in the film adaptation of Half-Blood Prince whatsoever. But anyway, Harry's tracking Draco, and if they'd taken the name off, you could have used this for, say, Prisoner of Azkaban when he's tracking Wormtail. Plus, it's just, way too big. That name is huge. What I would have done, still have a name tag, but just have it be much smaller. I'm talking, maybe half the size, but probably even smaller than that. So that you could have, just a name on there, but it would be nondescript. So it would just be, a little bit of, a squiggly. So it wouldn't really matter, and you could use it for any situation. Also, it's weird, because it just says Draco, when in universe it would say his full name, Draco Malfoy. And also, I think the font might be wrong. In general, that name tag for Draco is not great, but everything else about this print is fantastic. And then for accessories, you have a book for Cho, which I imagine will be the same design we've had since 2018, with the Wingardium Leviosa print inside. Hannah gets a golden lantern, which is very nice, since that piece in gold is not all too common. Draco gets an apple, an obvious reference to the events of Half-Blood Prince, and Harry gets that Marauder's map. And then in the center we have our build, which is a bookcase. Yeah, it's a bookcase. There isn't really anything to say about it. You get some jumper plates inside for books. It's a bookcase. You could put it in your room of requirement if you get that set. And yeah, okay. So, that's my opinion on both of these sets. Will I be picking either of them up? Harry Potter, yes. Even if Cho, I think it's supposed to be the main draw of the set, is a massive disappointment. The Marauder's map print is great. The Draco and Hannah figures are very good, and just the idea of getting all 4 house jumpers in one set is very enticing. So I'm going to get the set, and possibly multiple copies for that. The Avengers set, will I get it? Probably not, because the Falcon figure I don't really care about, since I have the 2014 comic book version, which I prefer the look of. The AIM Agents I don't care about, and, well, Black Widow is a phenomenal figure. Bit of a spoiler alert for when I get around to making my Avengers 2020 Summer Sets Thoughts video, but I am planning on getting the Avengers Tower set, a set which includes Black Widow, so that's not really a draw for this set for me. And the builds are a huge letdown, so not going to be getting that Avengers set, even though I think it definitely does have its audience, and if you want that set, and you're interested in the figures, I would definitely recommend getting it, because it is a great value for what you get. It's just that what you get isn't something that interests me in particular. But yeah. Also, packaging design, bit blurry, but you can see in the background of the Harry Potter one, you have what I believe is the Hogwarts Great Hall, or at least the Grand Staircase Tower. And then you have some, 4 towers off to the side, and that makes me think of the viaduct entrance that's coming in the Astronomy Tower set, but obviously the scaling there isn't really right, with how those are way too tall to go along with the Great Hall, the Grand Staircase Tower from that set. Anyway, so, interesting packaging design. On the Avengers one, you can see the Avengers Tower set in the background, which is a good call, since that's the best set of the new Avengers line. Also, probably one of the best sets LEGO's ever done for Marvel. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about these sets. They're both nice. I think they both have good value for the figures you get. Those figures are quite nice. with one exception in the Harry Potter pack, unfortunately. The builds are nothing exceptional, but they're alright. Yeah, good stuff. So thank you all so much for watching this video, but for now, this is Retro Brick Reviews, signing off.